everybody, welcome back. And last week we looked at self-control and we left off with a little question. That was why Jesus Christ got angry. And today we're going to start off this arrow with this topic. So why Jesus Christ got angry? Let's look at that. But before we look at that, we're going to find out what is fleshly anger. But before we look at that, we're going to look at a verse. James 1st chapter, 26th verse. And you can read this in the Bible. If you have one now, it would be nice if you read it as well. So this verse, James 1st chapter, 26th verse, in this verse, it explains the human anger does not produce righteousness of God. Wow, a very wonderful verse. And we are going to go now into what is fleshly anger. So fleshly anger, let's look at this topic. So it says fleshly anger, let me see, how do I explain this? Here's a way. So fleshly anger is basically like a person who loves themselves only or loves themselves more than others, and this, yes, purely arrives due to selfishness. And now let's look at when the first fleshly anger was ever written or had come. And the first fleshly anger had come from Cain, who was jealous of his brother. And it says about this in Genesis 4th chapter 5th verse. And you can read the verse. It's a very interesting verse which talks about this. And let's go into more detail about this. And because Cain was jealous of his brother Abel, he had killed him. And this happened because of his selfishness. So let's look at this in even more detail so we can understand. So, in this, it first says, Cain did not understand why, first of all, God had rejected him and his offering. Since at the start, God had asked Abel and Cain to give him an offering. But God did not accept him or his offering. And because of this, because Cain was the superior and elder brother, he felt jealous of his younger brother Abel. But rather he should have shown faithfulness, which is explained in many verses like Romans 14th chapter 23rd verse, which says, doing without faithfulness is doing sin. But he should have actually showed faithfulness instead of not showing no faithfulness. Because if he showed faithfulness, he would have prayed to God and asked, why, God, did you reject me? Please give me an answer. He would have been asking God in prayer. But due to his superiority as the elder brother, Cain had felt jealous and killed his younger brother. And this purely comes due to selfishness. And this is what we call fleshly anger. And this is the first fleshly anger written in the Bible. So this is what Cain had done. But if he had shown faithfulness and prayed to God and asked why he had rejected me and my offering, this would have been a perfect act as self-control. But he didn't. Well, let's go back to what we were talking about. Why Jesus Christ got angry. So let's look at this. So Jesus Christ got angry in many ways. And in the first advent, it says in the first advent that Jesus Christ had got angry when he was going to cleanse the temple. Since he went to cleanse the temple and he kicked over the table and drove all the merchants out. And this is written in all four gospels, in all four gospel books. So Now, another example is Jesus Christ had cursed the fig tree because he did not provide fruits when he needed them. And this is recorded in Mark 11th chapter 12 to 14. We can read this in the New Testament book. So let's read it. Mark 11th chapter. It will say the same thing we just looked at. Mark 11th chapter 12 to 14. The next day, as they were leaving Bethany, Jesus was hungry. Seeing in the distance a fig tree in a leaf, he went to find out it had any fruit. When he reached it, he found nothing but leaves, because it was not the season for figs. Then he said to the tree, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." And his disciples heard him say it. And this is how he curses it. And another example is that Jesus Christ rebukes Peter and says, "Go away, Satan." And we can read that as well in Matthew. So Matthew 16 chapter, let's see, 12th to 23rd verse. Wait. Matthew 16th chapter 23rd verse, sorry. Let's see. Jesus turned and said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. You are stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the things of God, but the things of men." So this is exactly what I said, which is in the Bible. So, now we've seen a few examples of Jesus Christ being angry in the first Advent. And now we need to look at as what in these examples we looked at, is Jesus Christ showing fleshly anger like Cain did, or is he doing it for the spiritual love? And that's what we're going to look next week. So, see you then. Bye.